What's happening, brother Quincy? This is your brother Colomo. Namaste to you, King. To answer your questions about what are my thoughts on Africans being the original people here in America, and do I believe that the Indians could have been us, I would respond by saying could have. Hell, if you look at the photographs, even Stevie Wonder can see that the people who were native and indigenous to this land were black. And it's interesting that you should ask me this particular question, because about a month and a half ago, after doing a pre-move walkthrough in a laboratory, I was leaving the lab, and as I was walking down the corridor, this map caught my eye. Now, even though the continent is not depicted anywhere nearly as large and massive as it should be, this map caught my eye because Africa, according to longitude and latitude, is a lot closer to being in the middle than we're used to seeing, where they have America almost looking like it's in the middle. And an Asian researcher walked up on me and engaged me in conversation, which was oddly familiar. It's almost as if she knew that we are family. She asked me where I plan to go, and I told her I was going to get to Kemet as soon as I can before they destroy all the evidence. After I said that, something kind of cool happened. She said, "Oh yeah, I've lived in Egypt. I've lived in many places throughout the world. And one of the things that I find interesting is how differently black people are treated most of the places I go than they are here in America." And I said, it is kind of jacked up how we're treated here, especially considering the fact that there are places on the west coast of Africa where if you put a raft in the water and give it a good enough push, it will find its way to this continent. We were here long before the European invaders even knew what a raft or a boat was. That's when she went on to share with me the fact that her elders had shared with them when they were younger about a time long ago before the continents drifted as far apart as they are now, when her ancestors would literally walk into this continent from Asia. At that point, a light went off in my head. I said, well, that explains a lot. So, your ancestors walked into the continent from Asia. My ancestors rode currents up into the continent from Africa. They met in the middle, began mating, and that's how the people we now know as Native Americans were created. And after I said that, I could see a light go off in her head, and she said, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Brother Quincy, to answer your question, I feel it in my bones that the original people in the Americas were African. Like I said, we were traveling back and forth, riding the currents, way before the Europeans even knew what a boat was. They were still stuck in the dark ages until they came down into Egypt, the hub of science and technology, and up here into Timbuktu. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's somewhere here, which once housed more books in that one spot than the rest of the world had put together. We are the originals, and that's one of the reasons why the SOWs, the system of white supremacy, who learned from our ancestors before they pillaged, raped, killed, and enslaved them, that's why they don't want us to know who we are. because we are magical beings. And all of the knowledge that was stolen from Kemet and Timbuktu that they've been trying to figure out and decipher all these years, and they feel they're getting closer to, they have to keep it from us, because they know that if we were exposed to the truth, it's built into our DNA. So it would not take thousands or hundreds of years for us to decipher it.